Welcome back to the IE427 garage, everybody. I'm not going to bore you with a lot of the the how-to stuff today, but there's probably not going to be any cool car content until later in the video. So I hope you stick around for that. This past week, just so you know, the wind has subsided here, so we will be moving the Mk4 25th anniversary body outside, and I should be able to get some cars moved around in here. I normally don't tell you what day of the week it is. It is Saturday today, so I'm getting a fairly early start here. But I have to start with some routine maintenance and some other things that, you know, may not interest everybody. I have to, and pardon me for the sunlight, change the oil on this thing today. The oil light, if any of you know about the Chevy trucks, there is a light or a message that comes up on the LCD, the screen on the dash that tells you when to change the oil. And so we're going to go ahead, we're going to change the oil on this today. And then on one of the other work trucks, the blue Ford Ranger that I use basically as a commuter vehicle, I went to get in that on Monday morning this week, and the driver's side outside door handle broke. So luckily I just been driving the van all week because I wasn't going to deal with that, but the handle did come in. It's a different color, of course, since the Ranger is a sport model. The handles are all color matched to the truck, and of course you can't order a handle for that vehicle with a blue handle. And the truck is 2007. I'm not going to paint the handle. So if anybody wants to flame me out there for having one black handle on the driver's side and the existing blue handle, well, have at it. But I don't care. It's a work truck. So I'm going to do that later. And I'm not going to do a how-to. I'm probably just going to do a how it was done wrap up. Same thing with the oil change. I mean, you guys know how to change an oil, change oil in your car. Make sure you put oil around the gasket when you put the filter in, fill the filter with a little oil so you don't dry start the engine, stuff like that. Check the level when you're done. I shouldn't need to tell you how to do that. So, I'm going to go ahead, I'm going to change the oil on that, and then I've got to go move some vehicles around. I got to take the van back to our office and switch it out for the Blue Ranger. I'm going to bring that here to the shop at home, and I'm going to fix that handle. And then I'm going to get into some of the work on Jim's Mk4, because I have to do a couple little things to it before we take it down from the lift. And then we're going to get the 25th anniversary up on the lift and hopefully work on that for the next couple of days. Right now I don't know when Michael's car is coming back. I'm assuming it's going to be this coming week, but I haven't heard from Michael. He was supposed to go out to the upholsterer yesterday and see if it was finished, and I kind of expected to hear from him, and I didn't. So he may have just gotten busy. So I'm playing that one by ear, but there's plenty of work here in the shop to do. So please stay tuned, and we'll get some of this stuff done. I am going to show you this one trick that I use, and there's probably other people out there that do this as well. But I buy the oil in 5-quart containers, and so, for instance, the van there, it's a 6-liter LS, and it takes 6 quarts of oil. Well, the jugs are only 5 quarts, and so it's cheaper to buy them in 5 quarts, especially at like Walmart or Sam's Club or Costco or one of those. So the first 5 quarts is easy because you're pouring the whole thing into the vehicle. Not a big deal, right? So you put your funnel in and you pour it in. But that last 1 quart can be just a bitch. So here's what I do. They conveniently mark the quart lines for you on the side of the bottle. And so since I already have 2 bottles, what I do is I mark that first bottle that's now empty, at the 4-quart line. And I'm going to take that right there, the other 5 quarts, and I'm going to fill it up with a funnel until the oil gets to that 1-quart line. This way, I don't have to worry about stopping and then checking the level, you know, holding the jug up to the light to see whether it's at that 4-quart line or not. And it's not as heavy. And so that'll get us right in the ballpark. And then if I have to top it off at all, which I don't think I will, because usually 6 quarts is 6 quarts, then I'll do that. But with both of the Chevy vehicles that we have, well, we actually have 3, but both of the trucks, I've never had a problem with the 6 quarts not being exactly where it needs to be on the dipstick. So I just thought that might help you guys out. And it'll work, you know, if you've got, you know, you need 8 quarts or you need 7 quarts or whatever. So you're going to end up buying, you know, 2 jugs, unless you're buying them in the single quarts. So I thought it could help, guys. All right, as you can hear, the truck is running in the background. We've got wonderful oil pressure. We've got, I don't know, what's that? 42. Yep. So that's all good. I went ahead, I checked the the air filter while I was under here. The coolant, I'm gonna wait for it to warm up a little bit. I'll check the transmission level. And I've already checked the brake fluid and everything is good. So I think I'm going to move on to the next project, which is going to be the door handle on the Ranger. One thing, none of our vehicles are newer than 2007. And I think we have, what, 10 vehicles? The GMs, all of them, have what GM calls oil life. And for the most part, I'll use the oil life for the regular oil change interval. Sometimes I'll do it a little early. This one was actually a little early. I just noticed that the oil level had come down a little bit, and so I figured, well, if it's down, I might as well just change the oil. But make sure you reset that. And it's different for every vehicle. The trucks, both of our trucks, what you do is you turn the key, you press the accelerator pedal 5 times. In this one, there's an oil light that looks like an oil can. In the Silverado, there's actually a screen on the bottom, and it'll say oil life reset. In the HHR, it's even different than that. You actually have to go into the menu of the driver information center, I think it's called, and you have to go into that setting, and then you actually have to, you know, select oil reset, and then you have to do that. You have to cycle the key off and then turn it back on. You actually have to cycle the key off and on all of the vehicles that we own. So make sure you do that so you're not driving around and the oil light stays on, or the screen keeps telling you to change the oil. If you do the oil life reset, then you're fine. The Ford vehicles that we have don't do that because I guess Ford wasn't doing that at the time that we bought those vehicles, and I don't know if they do it now. So I don't know if any of that helped you or not, but there you go. All right, I got a little sidetracked. The problem with being a contractor, for those of you who don't know, we're a general contractor, and we have a C10 in here in California. That means we're also an electrical contractor, and we have a D29, which means we're a painting and decorating contractor. But regardless, the problem with that is that I tend to fix things that break around the house myself, because I can't see spending the money to have someone else come out to the house and fix things that I can most likely diagnose and fix. So one thing I didn't show, and I'm not going to show on this video, is that our dryer, it seems like things happen in 3. So the truck needed the oil changed, the handle on the Ranger broke, and the dryer broke. And so all of those things need to be fixed this weekend, and I'm just glad now that I did the yard. I cut the grass and edged and mowed and all that kind of stuff yesterday, so I wouldn't have to do it today. But I took and I did the old crapshoot on the dryer and figured it was either the igniter or the gas valves. and I chose the gas valves. I put everything on red, and I thought it's got to be the gas valves because that's been an issue in the past. I chose poorly. It's the igniter, and I could have checked, but that would have entailed pulling the front cover off of the dryer, and I just didn't want to do that. So when the dryer went out this past week, I just figured, you know what, the gas valves went out before. I'm just going to order those. They're $12, and they'll come into the week, and I'll replace them. Replaced them. Dryer still doesn't work. So then I tested the igniter since I had the front cover off, and sure enough, there's no continuity, which means it's not igniting. And so now I'm going to have to order one of those. But I am moving on to working on the Ranger on the door handle. So again, I'm not going to show you that. I'll just show you, what it looks like before and what it looks like after. So here's the issue with the Ranger door handle. You can see it broke off on this side, and this is the side that the rod attaches down to the actual strike, latch, whatever you want to call it, inside the door. So there's a bunch of people out there. I'll see if I can link. There's this one gal on YouTube that does a pretty extensive video on replacing these, and so I'm not going to go over the whole thing. I'm just going to show you before and after, but I'm going to have to pull off, this is in two pieces, so this has to come off first, and then there's a couple of screws behind here. The electrical has to be disconnected, 2 more screws, and then the door panel comes off, and then you can get to the actual rod and the latch over here in the inside of the door. So I'm going to go ahead, I'm going to get that all pulled apart, and then I'll bring you back when I'm done. I think I've got the door handles over here. It was cheaper to buy 2. The price was better for 2. I think for both handles I paid like $12, including free shipping. So here's what the new handles look like. You can see it's the same handle, just in black. And so we're going to be using that to replace the one that's there. And that's it. All right. That one was Pat Benatar. Just so you guys know I'm not BSing you here. I'm streaming this all from our music server. We have a music server set up out here in the shop. We also have a movie server set up in the shop. So I'm the one who buys all of those movies in the $5 bin or $3 bin out at Walmart. And then I take those and I put them on our server. So the door handle is all installed. Again, it's a different color, but it is what it is. At least it opens and closes the door now. So we're all good. And I'll probably catch up with you guys tomorrow as we start to move this stuff around. I already moved the body outside for the 25th anniversary car, so I'm probably going to slide it forward. In the interim, Jim stopped by with a throttle pedal for his Mk4. So it's right here. And again, we're using the Russ Thompson accelerator cable. So I'm going to try to pull out the old accelerator cable and pedal right now. And I need that old cable out so I can measure it to see how long of a cable we need to order. I think the one that's in there, in the short amount of time that this car has been put together, I think it actually started to melt. And so the plastic is making it to where the cable doesn't want to slide freely inside of the sheathing over the outside of the cable. So we're going to replace that and then probably put some like heat shielding, the sleeving over the cable to protect it from heat in the future, and then get this all set up with the Russ Thompson accelerator cable. So I'll catch up with you guys tomorrow. I don't know if you saw, it's already starting to get dark outside here. It's about 4 o'clock or so. And so I'll see you tomorrow. All right, update. I was actually able to get some Cobra work done. I know, it's unbelievable. It was late in the afternoon. I got, I think I showed you, I got the body moved outside for the 25th anniversary car. I moved the 25th anniversary car over to the other side of the shop. And then I started work on getting the license plate light and a bracket to get the license plate up inside the light. If you're just buying your Mark IV now, or you have a Mark III and before, this isn't really an issue. On the early Mark IVs, however, the space in between the bottom of the light and the top of the door handle is such that a standard license plate will not fit there. So what I can do is I can take this off and show you guys what we did. I know you guys aren't going to know how to handle this because I'm actually showing you the work right now. And normally I just show you how it's been done. I had somebody ask me that the other day. Why don't you go into depth and show us how you do the things? Well, because this isn't a how-to. This is more of a how I did it type of channel. So here's the bracket. So what I did, it's just a flat piece. I think I made this 1.25 inches in height, and it's the same width as the license plate hanger or holder or whatever you want to call it, bracket. And then what I did, and you don't have to do it this way, you can actually just through bolt it and put a nut on the back, but just be careful about your bolt length so you don't dig into the paint. I used 1/4 inch threaded inserts here and on the other side, and then these holes were just here to locate it. What I did was I used the little plastic inserts. I don't know if you can see that. These are just the little plastic inserts that are already in the license plate frame, but if you leave those in there, they sit kind of proud, and then the license plate wants to kind of come out at an angle. So I found that pop rivets are better, and they almost act like a bumper because the riv nuts. So the riv nuts are out just a little bit, and so are the heads of the pop rivets. And then if you ever need to get this off, you can just drill the rivets out. Now what I do when I'm drilling out a rivet, since we've got the tool I use, I just take a piece of sheet metal, I wrap tape around it, I slide it behind, and then I drill the hole so that when I finally go through, I'm not going to drill into the car body. Other than that, that's it. I mean, the license plate works. The license plate light works. I just hooked up a 9-volt battery to it to make sure it works because I haven't wired it back in to the car yet. You can see the wires are just hanging up there, so I've got to still do that. And then I think before I go in tonight, what I'll probably do is I will fit the piece over here that I have to cover up the access hole inside the trunk. So that piece right there will fit onto that opening right there. And so I may do that before I go in for the evening because it's about 6 o'clock, close to it right now. So that's it. I will check back with you guys tomorrow. All right, everybody, next day I am trying to get what I can done on Jim's car before we pull it here off the lift. I'm working on the accelerator pedal today. We got a new pedal from Russ, and so I'm pulling out the old one. I'm probably not going to put the new one in today. I want to make sure we order a cable, but I need to get that old cable out so that we can check it for length and then get the appropriate size and length of cable ordered. But I figured I'd show you what was going on with that. Got the old cable pulled away from the throttle pedal itself. Now, I don't know what is going on here. This is the second or third car that I've gotten where this pad right here that the pedal mounts to is just bashed in. I mean, literally, someone had to hit that thing like with a hammer to get it to push in like that. And I don't know what's going on and why guys are doing this. Don't do that. So we got the pedal out. I did find some issues with it. It, for one, has come apart to the point where this washer and this bolt were kind of just hanging in here by a single thread. And as I was pulling this thing out, I grabbed it down here, and the arm actually came undone from the end of the splines, and it was just like all loosey-goosey. And I'm like, what the hell's going on with this thing? And as I pulled it out and had it in my hand, then I noticed how loose the threads were on here. So this is one of those wear items that you're going to want to make sure get a drop of Loctite before you put it together. You're going to need a drop of Loctite on that bolt. You're going to need a drop of Loctite on this bolt up here that has your lead for your cable, so that these things don't come apart as you're driving. So one of the other things I wanted to show you, I got this done last night as I was getting ready to head in for the evening. I went ahead and I put the bottom cover on the trunk lid access. So there's the access, and I think I told you that I had an extra one of these made when I did Michael's and had powder coated. So that's all pop riveted into place. We've made the final connections for the license plate light. The license plate is all kind of done and squared away. And then once we get this throttle cable out, then I think that's going to be it. I'm going to have to take this one off the lift and move on to the 25th anniversary car, because I want to get started on the brakes on the rear on that one over there, because we've got Michael's car coming back here to the shop real quick. So I'm trying to get all these loose ends taken care of so that I can get onto the 25th anniversary car and get some work done on that. I think this video is probably running a little long right now, so I'm going to wrap things up here. As always, if you enjoy the content, please do the like, the share, the subscribe. We really appreciate all the views. I'm going to let you guys all go for today. We'll see you next time. Have a great day.